Now, sometimes I'm lazy. I'll use ChatGPT or my own TJ Walker GPT to do a rough draft of a marketing newsletter or marketing
Mhm.
copy for an online course. But today I just did sort of my own version of it. So this is kind of my start. Imagine yourself fluent in 32 languages. We won't go into all the details here. I just want to show you my workflow. So
Okay.
I dictated a first draft. Then I went to ChatGPT and I asked it I went through several different versions. So I asked it to rewrite the following email message. I told it, that it's going to existing users, that I gave it a little bit of background. Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't. I just said rewrite the following email message
Mm-hmm.
with the idea of getting existing users more excited about trying out the multi-language capabilities and wanting to get them to click in. So I'm not trying to make a direct sale. I'm not trying to get them to whip out their credit card. It's more of a soft sell where they go into the clone, try it, use it. If they like it and want to come back after, 10 or so minutes or 10 different questions, then a paywall comes up. So I then just cut and pasted my email draft.
Okay.
It then gave me a version. I looked at it, not that carefully, but I did see something I didn't like. I said, most of this is good, but my clone won't do that. This made it sound like it was my technology and I'm the technology. I'm simply using a platform
Mm-hmm.
to do this. It's not OpenAI or Claude. It's one called Delphi. But I'm not interested in
Yeah.
promoting the platform. I want them to check out my clone and get them excited about cloning in general. So I asked it to rewrite it to make it sound like it's not my clone, because the headline says, we've added the ability for my clone. It made it sound like it was all me. Oh, it says what my clone can now do for you. That's what the part I didn't like, because it made it sound like I was going to teach them or show them exactly how to do that. Now, in fairness, I do have, to be overly promotional here, I do have my own book on how to make a digital clone, and it's how to use a platform. And I have an online course on that. But that's not what I was promoting in this particular bit of copy. So I asked it to rewrite that. But then I said, most of this is good. This is just a template. I want people to see that it's now available in other places. So it did another version. It still kept my video clone technology. I wasn't happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave it notes. It sounds like it's my technology. I'm just a guide who's a step or two ahead of others. And as you can see, probably like most people, I realize the AI is good enough to correct my spelling error. So I don't bother to correct. You can see typos in my prompts there. So it did it again, but it still used my video clone technology. And I don't know anything about technology. I'm just aggressive at looking for the best technology to allow me to create a completely interactive video clone. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of stressed that. But then I thought that it lost something, because in my initial copy, I had quotes from people saying, this is freaking amazing. And because they literally said that when I was watching the video of people in my clone and they saw me speaking Arabic at one point, they turned to a friend and said, this is freaking amazing. So I'm pulling from that. I put that in my initial draft and it was kind of written out of it in the Chat GPT. So I asked it to rewrite that. So I said, put in some of my original language. And I want people to really get a sense that this is a new type of communication. So it did a final version. I used the final version. I still didn't really like the title. So I used the final version it gave me. And let me just pull up a moment the title that I actually used. And you might be appalled at the title because I didn't test it or anything else. But let me just pull up the title here. I just sent it. It should be in my trash because I already deleted it. Okay, so let me go to I'll go into my clone, and I realize this, I've thrown a lot at you, and we didn't discuss this in advance that I was going to ask you to do this. By the way, if you're just joining us, I'm TJ Walker. This is the TJ Walker Success Show. Our special guest today is David Deutsch, who is a well-known copywriter. He has worked with top agencies. He's worked with American Express, General Foods, Merrill Lynch, Procter & Gamble. He's learned from the likes of David Ogilvy. We're very happy he's here today. And I'm getting his feedback in a sort of a real world case study on how people can use artificial intelligence to do copywriting. And I'm going to ask him, where did I go wrong? Where did I go right? How would someone really use this in the best possible way? And so I want to tell you, okay, so here's the title I used. I changed this at the last minute. And I put the headline to be appeared to speak in nearly any language instantly, question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point. That's maybe too cheesy, or maybe that might even set off spam filters. I don't know. Anyway, so that is my interpretation of how someone like me, a small business owner, a content creator, a subject matter expert who does have to promote things, whether it's books, online courses, workshops, should use AI for copywriting. I came up with the first concept. I didn't just ask it to do everything. I came up with a concept. I had it do drafts. I tweaked it. I didn't just take everything it said at first blush. And by the way, I have to confess, I have done that before.
Right.
Nothing that's caused a disaster for me or hurt me. But this one I wanted to get right because, frankly, I do find it very exciting. And if we have time or it's relevant, I'll show you the clone speaking in different languages later today. I wanted to get it right. So that's my concept of start with a concept, go back and forth with some program, whether it's ChatGPT, and then come up with yourself. Now, tell me, what would you have done if I had just come to you and hired you, or if I had gone to speakingofwriting.com and gone through one of your workshops or seminars or courses? How would you have taught me to do this differently?